Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. I am here to introduce you, if you are not already familiar, with the amazing Zawaj cards marriage meeting box. I absolutely love this pack of questions for potential spouses because it really gets to the nitty gritty. Okay, so there are the generic questions about what you're looking for, the qualities that you want in a marriage, what you expect from marriage, etc. But then it goes deeper and deeper, layers and layers upon layers. And really, I would say get married without having the marriage meeting cards at your peril. Because even when the conversation becomes uncomfortable, that is really the time to push through and be brave enough and courageousness to be truthful and to share your thoughts, your opinions on that particular issue, because you never know whether your opinion on this issue could be a deal breaker or could be the thing that clinches the deal, right? So I want to introduce you to the three components of the Zawaj Cards marriage meeting pack. Okay, so first and foremost, we've got our question cards, right? The question cards are basically cards that are designed to create a comfortable space for important discussions between potential spouses. All right. The questions are open ended and use vetting techniques to encourage honesty and transparency. And that's what we want in these meetings. Am I right? So these cards flow easily regardless of the card picked. And each card has the potential to open up a long, healthy, and integral discussion. I love that. So 60%, 65% of the cards in the deck belong to this question cards category. You'll find loads of these in the pack. And this forms the bulk of the game and provides an opportunity for individuals to discuss their beliefs, values, and intentions in a comfortable and open environment, which, let's face it, that's what this conversation requires, right? So I'm going to share with you just a few that I picked out at random. They ended up all being about family. I'm not sure why, but this question says, what is your current input to your family? How do you help and what is your role? SubhanAllah, so often we neglect the impact that our family dynamic has on us as individuals and as potential husbands and wives. What we grew up seeing, what our expectations are based on the household that we grew up in, what we want and what we don't want, based on our childhood and our upbringing and the norms within our family, the values within our family. And then also the role you play now. Are you the caretaker? Are you the provider? Are you the one that everybody looks to arrange everything or to clean up everybody's mess? Are you the spoilt one? Depending on the role that you play, you and your spouse may be more or less compatible. So definitely a really important and interesting conversation, I think, to open up with a potential spouse. So another one that I got here. What kind of relationship do you want your spouse to have with your family? Again, we make so many assumptions about how our husband or wife is going to interact with our parents, with our grandparents, our extended family, our brothers and sisters. But even that is determined by what you've seen growing up and what is normal in your household. And that may not be the same as your potential spouse. And it could be something that you guys need to talk about. Don't ever make assumptions. Don't ever think, well, we're both from Muslim households, therefore, or we're both from British households, therefore, or we're both from African Caribbean backgrounds, therefore. Have the discussions. Have the discussions. Get to understand fully what it is that you're signing up for. It may be that everything aligns. It may be that there are some things that your spouse expects that you maybe hadn't anticipated, but you're cool with it and you can work with it. And there may be some things that you have a really hard line on. It's important to get that out in the open now rather than after the fact and then it causing loads of problems. Right, another one that I got here. What are the expectations of your parents? What expectations do your parents have of a potential spouse? Again, we can make a lot of assumptions based on our upbringing, but find out the true hal. You could have a potential spouse whose parents are very hands off and they expect you to go and make your life. Go and make your life, be free, and don't come back looking for samosas and chai anytime soon, right? You could find that that's the case. You could also find that, your parents expect your spouse to be fully integrated in the family, to come home every Friday, to spend weekends with the family. Have those conversations. Again, interesting because you're learning about this person, but also that person gets to see whether they can fulfill your parents' expectations. And even if it's not about can they or can't they can better prepare themselves for what being married to you could potentially look like. And I think those questions came out at random, but I think they're an example of the nuanced conversations that these cards can encourage. Let me know in the comments if you agree, guys. I want to go on to the next part of this pack, okay? So we've got the action cards, and the action cards are action-based and test whether individuals' actions match their words. So after discussing what they would do in different situations, which we've talked about in the question cards, individuals are presented with an action and must decide whether they will do it or not. And if not, provide a reason. 15% of the cards in this deck belong to the action card category. And this category is a practical way to test the validity of individuals' intentions and hold them accountable for their actions. These cards can be intense as they require individuals to put their beliefs and intentions into action. Ooh, wow. So probably these are the cards that would come later on in the talking phase or in the talking process. You're not going to have these conversations right off the bat. Okay, so I guess if they get through the question round, then I think you'd probably go to the next one, which is the situation cards, definitely, which we're going to talk about in a minute, so stay tuned. But then I think going to the action cards makes sense. So here are some fun ones that I managed to pick. Make a plan for your perfect date. Personally, I think the brothers should be the ones to do that. But you may find that you both want to plan your perfect date and see how aligned you are, whether you get ideas from each other, whether you're suggesting something that the other person is like, oh no, never. So a nice one to do there. Take the love language test and share the results. I like that one. Now, we all know that some individuals can be a little bit resistant, okay, to doing personality tests and quizzes and then reporting back. Let's see how open we are to learning. Let's see how open we are to growth. Let's see how open we are to being honest about who we are and what we want. Because the other one that I picked is to take the personality quiz and share the results. So again, is this person up for it? Is this person open to it? Is this person willing to find out more about themselves? Look, you might not be that person. The one who's listening to this video, the one who's watching this video, you may be the one who's saying, I'm not taking no love language test. What? So that might be you. If it's you, ask yourself why. What is it that is making you feel uncomfortable? Where is the resistance coming from? And get curious. You never know what you might find. Okay, so lastly, we're going to move on to the situation cards. The situation cards are the cat amongst the pigeons in this deck, okay? The makers of the marriage meeting card deck, Zawaj cards, you know who you are, okay? And you know what you are doing with these cards because the situation cards are scenario-based, putting individuals in a realistic situation and testing their problem-making skills. Problem solving, not problem-making, sorry. The purpose of these cards is to provide a new perspective and encourage individuals to think about how they would respond to different situations. 20% of the cards in this deck are from the situation card category, and the category offers an opportunity to reflect on different scenarios and to have discussions on how to handle them. Discussions / arguments / storming out, because some of these are so incendiary, but again, these things are going to come up. Right? These scenarios are going to come up. So it's probably worth having a trial run before you go the full hog. So I've got these two. I've only got two because the pack is actually full of some really thorny issues, I would say. But I've picked some light ones for you, and you're going to have to get the pack yourselves to see some of the other questions in there that are like a little bit of a grenade into the conversation. So this one says, your friend is going through a difficult marriage. What advice do you give her? I like the idea of this question being for him and her, because yes, okay, we know men don't necessarily talk about their situations as much, but if a brother was having difficulty with his marriage and spoke to his friend, what advice would the husband give? It's going to be very interesting to see the answers that come out. Next one. You find your spouse speaking casually to a non-mahram. What do you do? Choose your answers carefully. These questions, these situation cards, like I said, they probably are full of the more controversial topics that could highlight real differences in the way you and this potential spouse see the world, walk in the world, and how you deal with, some of the situations that come up in daily life. So definitely not something you want to skip, even though they may be difficult, even though they may be uncomfortable. To be honest, guys, like I said, it's better you have the arguments now. It's better you have the disagreements now. It's better you have the disappointment now than later. So be brave. Dive into those situation cards. Take a deep breath. Try to be calm and really consider the question. Reflect on it. Sisters, this is for you, because I know I've been through all these questions. Sisters, this is for you. Do not react emotionally, okay? Take a beat. Take a breath. Think about the scenario in a realistic way and try to communicate your view on it in the calmest way possible. Fun times. Okay, so who is this card deck for? Of course, it's for potential spouses. So those of you who have met somebody, who are considering marrying somebody, and you want to make sure that you cover as much ground as possible before you marry the person or before you accept the proposal, these cards are for you. Okay, these cards are for you to go over, probably not in one session because some of the conversations will be quite protracted. So spread it out, pick at random, and take turns to pick and ask the questions. I think that's quite a good setup for this type of conversation. But also, I invite parents to play this game with their children, with their teenagers, with their young adults, with their adult children, because it can be very illuminating to see what your children's opinions are on some of these issues. You may find that you need to do some debunking. You may find that you need to do some sort of deprogramming or just some education on, some of these topics and Islamically how to deal with them, and also from your own wisdom and experience, what you've learned along the way. So I do use this with my friends' kids, with my own sort of teenagers. We have had some very interesting conversations off the back of this card. And I know that, I have friends who've gone out and ordered the box just so that they can sort of put their kids to the test, if you like. But ultimately, this pack of cards is, as far as I know, the only card deck that is going to allow you to have an open, honest, and down-to-earth conversation with any potential spouse, inshallah. So you know what to do. Grab yourself a box, use the link in the description to order your box, get the box, go through the questions. Even if you're not talking to somebody, even if you're not quite ready to get married yet, get the box, go through the questions. Ask yourself, what would my answer be? What would I be saying to this question? Do I know enough about this aspect or that aspect? Have I considered this? And prepare yourself, because hopefully the next person, inshallah, who comes knocking on your door will already have the box and they'll be ready to ask you those questions and to answer them as well. So don't get caught unprepared. Get the Zawaj cards marriage meeting box and let me know in the comments if any of the questions that I put on the screen brought anything up for you. I'm going to put some questions in the description as well so that you guys can answer them. But I would love to know if you have had any dealings with this box, if you are going to order it or if you've already ordered it, and how it was for you. Like I said, get married without these questions at your peril. May Allah guide you to the very best person for you and allow you to love and cherish and honor each other. Fi dunya wa fil akhirah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the next video. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.